Tabletop time.
I'm Jazza.
I'm Jen.
I'm Murray.
I'm Dragon.
And I'm bad at Dota 2. I mean, I'm Dave.
In real life.
In real life.
In real life.
Have we done that one?
I always say that. It's my catchphrase.
Is it?
I'm Dave. I'm bad at Dota 2.
We have made this conversation a lot.
2 years ago,
have?
3 years
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
All right.
Don't worry about it. The viewers know.
For what you should worry about.
You're pretty bad at Gate Crash too, because you keep getting beaten these days.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. I actually beat Dave in my first ever game of anything ever.
Which is
Still mad? I'm still mad. Just saying. Still have not forgiven you for that.
You know why those game losses feel good? Because I'm working on the rules. So if I'm losing games, it means they're well written.
That's
Because if I knew them inside and out, and I was winning every
abusing
game,
them.
then I'm clearly not
All right.
teaching it well.
It's a deep cut for a recent PAX play session, but we're not only developing Gate Crash, which is unrelated to this stuff. Gate Crash Games is also developing Gateway Roleplay, which is the game system that we're also developing and playing with here. It's work in progress, but it's very exciting, and we actually sort of have like a light at the end of the tunnel of this stuff coming together. There's sort of like a game plan slowly brewing that I can give no details on, but feels like stuff is moving and developing, which is great. And I'm going to stop talking because that leads to promises being
It does.
made.
And we're not promising anything except that we will role play a game imminently.
And also share our awesome merch with you, specifically.
And minis.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you had miniatures such as this that you could 3D print, paint, and use in your encounters. And
Oops,
imagine
wrong one.
if we were going to do that tonight. We'll keep imagining because we
Yeah.
lost them.
That unicorn dog's pretty good.
There's a great unicorn dog. There is one that we've lovingly
That one right
painted
there. That one right there.
somewhere in the studio.
Yeah, it's the one that's
that
leaning
we've
down.
spent an hour looking for.
Oh, my goodness.
Look, if we just use Photoshop to like crop out that dog, we just
Oh,
like
that's a good idea.
Can you like
plant it
grab
over the
like a
top.
gif of the dogcorn from the video that we painted it in and just put it in as a 2D graphic
Go on,
over our
Dave. Well,
Can
Role playing,
I
thank
just
you.
make a GIF now that we're recording and live?
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, come
Also,
on.
if you could make me like a roast leg of lamb, that'd be great.
Make a 3D print of that and just have it
Yeah,
like,
let me just
moving around the
let me just
board.
hack it like a
That way
90s
you don't have
TV
to reach
hacker.
over to do it. You can just be like,
Disney
it's there.
Channel kid.
And finish my video, thank you.
All right. Oh, and Dragon's here.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't say I'm Dragon, but it's Dragon.
It's me.
Good to have you here filling in for Al and to have Havada here, who Lorenzo hasn't met yet.
No, it hasn't not met. We've all been.
briefly.
We were all
Briefly.
very excited at the end of the last thing. We're like, we cannot wait for these two characters.
Make
to
the
meet.
two people passionate about hitting things meet. All right. Well, shall we?
Okay.
We shall.
Let's do it.
It is a time,
And a place.
sometime, and
time.
we are playing in a location. And the party have just decided on their course of action, Ari leaving the town imminently and heading off to meet with this strange Havada character in a town that sounded like Calico, but it wasn't. It was Casanara. It sounded like...
Map. Can we see the map?
No.
Show it to me.
You know what? I'll show you the map when you buy one.
Relinquish.
Got him.
That's
real
going to be a
DMing.
while.
It's an item. It's an item in the
can't
game.
afford anything.
It's like 200, isn't it?
You all know from your local knowledge, even just from being here, that Casanara is a town about a day and a half up the river to the northeast.
Okay. Day and a half. Well, I think it is time then to travel.
It is.
How long has it been since you did your voice?
It's at least a week.
At what point do you declare this? Once we've left the portcullis, or
And it is a time to... All right.
one day down the road? Let's leave.
So, were we picking up back in the guild, sort of preparing to set off?
If you'd like to be. Yeah, if there's things you'd like to prepare with.
Yeah, I think, I mean, for one, I'll probably double check that everything is definitely in my bag. And I totally haven't double checked at least 7 times on the way back from our previous locale.
Yes, your bag does seem to be intact functionally.
Yeah. All right, so I'd like to spend just a quick amount of time seeing if I can find something around or quickly concoct something that could, let's say, sedate animals.
You'd like to
As
see if you
opposed to
can
set them on
find
fire.
something that can sedate animals.
Using all my alchemical
chloroform.
stuff.
Make
in
an
my
investigation
study.
check.
With alchemy?
No, just investigation.
Okay.
I'm just assuming he knows what will sedate them. He's just got to see if he actually has any or could find any.
That's fair.
Also, he's a strapped uni. Yeah, see, this is what I was thinking was going to happen. That is 1, maybe 2 successes. You find you do.
Actually, I'm going to use my fast thinker feat.
What's this do?
Once per day, reroll 1 skill check.
Yay!
There you go.
That's cool. This is useful.
And I got 2 again.
So
It was meant to be.
here's what happens.
Maybe we should.
So Arvin,
Anyway.
maybe we should what?
Maybe we should change it to be like re-roll all the failures in 1 skill check.
Every day a full reroll is
fine,
good.
just don't roll like me.
On anything. Yeah, it can be combat,
Typically, you do the
non-combat.
same
Oh no,
roll
was it
against
skill
pretty
check
well.
only?
Skill check.
It's a skill check.
It's fine. Given the amount of rolls you usually make in a day, I think that's
all right.
fine.
All right. All right. Fair enough.
So, Arvin walks in. He sort of has a think. You realize exactly the components you need to mix to create a sort of is it called an analgesic, a sleep-inducing concoction, and you pull a bottle. An analgesic is painkillers, isn't it? You guys not know, or are you just laughing because it has anal in the word?
I wasn't, but I have now.
An Al Yankovic concoction.
My brain stopped.
I was gonna be
at
like-
that point. I was
was
like,
like- it was when you like- when you said
Sleepy
powder.
Analgesic, a drug acting to relieve pain. So I was referring specifically to like a large amount of like morphine, something that would like slow them down and get them groggy, but not you don't have like a vet. But anyway,
What's this? Does it smell like chloroform?
you find a vial of exactly what you need. Pull it off the shelf, and there's nothing in it. It's empty.
Oh, boo.
You don't have the money and the supplies, but. With a rapid brainwave, you realize that if you combine 2 elements in the room and make your own concoction, you will be able to basically replicate the effects. So running across the other shelf and like pushing some vials aside and grabbing exactly what you need and pulling it forward, it's also empty.
Damn it. I was almost so smart.
and most of your supplies at this stage also, as you're like, it's empty bottles going knocking over. You are extremely low on equipment. You guys have no money at the guild, and
We lost the
and my
shipment.
your shipment got
Specifically, my part of the shipment
Got ruined,
fell
yeah.
through. All right, note to self: go shopping.
With my nothing.
Other note to self: make money.
Get a dog, make money, go shopping.
That's right. I mean, I can probably buy things, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know how much it all costs to get. Anyway, cool. What are you guys doing?
Lorenzo is scampering around. He's disappearing apparently.
Elle, we all know that I have more than you.
Can I
so
have
shush.
help doing the thingy? Because I'm sort of jumping around all over the place on the thingy. So Lorenzo is in a flurry of sort of enthusiasm, gathering as many like art materials as he can, and he's being a little bit like, I wouldn't say sort of sneaky or naughty, but he's taking liberties and borrowing some of the nicer drafting materials and colors and things that might be sort of special or limited or whatever, because he's thinking to himself like, this is for the good of the guild. We really need this to work, and he seems to have a plan. So he's really sort of gathering a whole bunch of special stuff.
Was all the money going to the guild? Was that what was? Were you just getting paid? Was that what
you're getting paid. What you do with it is up to you.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. The owner's just waiting downstairs.
Cool.
Okay.
Let me know when.
Oh, there's 3 days travel. You said as well too.
I didn't.
You said 1.5
Said a day and a
away.
half.
Oh, that's fine. No worries.
All right. Cool. Lorenzo arrives downstairs. Have you come down, Arvin?
Yes, as all the concoctions related to what I wanted are not there. Probably just thrown the towel because probably aware that if I was going to do anything else, it would probably take a while to do such a thing. So I come downstairs.
Is there anything that I could take that would be the equivalent of a sort of portable canvas or drafting table, like to set up a larger drawing setup?
You will need to ask permission to take anything from the guild.
Okay. I sheepishly pluck the courage and go knock on Mistress Delarosa's door.
Yes.
My lady, I was wondering if these things I could take with us on our journey, and I was hoping for a surface to bring with me to draw on.
You can make a charm check. Challenge level 3.
Charm the pants off.
I'm like batting my eyelashes.
We don't need any more pairs of pants.
Oh.
Too many pants.
One.
One success.
Wow.
Please, mistress, it is for the good of the guild. I have a vision.
And we have policy.
What would you suggest?
Be resourceful
Yes, mistress.
with your resources. And then she slams the door.
Okay. I take
You
that
got one success on a charm roll.
Yeah, okay. I take that as like you can't take a drafting table.
Well, she said you can't take. She said no. We have a policy.
Okay. But what about the other stuff I was holding?
Is that from the guild?
Well, yeah.
Make a intuition check.
Can I decide to fail? No. Well, it'll go back.
Well, this is you can decide to do. Guess it's a role playing game. You can decide to do whatever you want. You can't decide to fail the
I
intuition
want
check.
to
though.
know. Yeah.
Roll it, and
I got all success.
you know that
critical
she meant you cannot take guild resources at any point. What your character does with that information is up to you. If you'd like to take them anyway and plead ignorance, that's fine.
Lorenzo feels guilty, but this feels important.
Okay.
So he's going to take maybe he'll put some back, like a few pens that he has his own of or whatever, but there are some colors, some materials that he just doesn't have, and there is no other way to, sometimes you've got to crack a few eggs to make an omelette.
My God, what episode is this?
12.
Why?
Crazy.
Feels like we've just begun.
just a second, just 1 second, just as I, Lorenzo steals guild equipment despite expressly being told not to by guild master. Okay, cool.
I guess I should write that down too.
Then carry
I'm
on.
going to use the word borrows.
In quotation.
That makes me feel
It
better.
will become borrowed if it was returned in the same.
Doesn't borrow also require permission to take?
I'm just going to end up in more debt.
Technicality, I think if you borrow something and then they don't know it's borrowed and it's returned in the exact same condition, you could technically justify that it was borrowed. They would probably say you stole it.
If the movie The Borrowers taught me anything, it's exactly that. So I
Yeah.
take back what I said.
Lorenzo thinks, like,
I mean, if you take it and you return it before they realise, did you even ever take it?
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Like,
Yes, don't touch my stuff.
all right.
Let's move.
All right, yeah, Lorenzo
Cool.
comes back to the group and says,
Yo.
look, I, at this point, given the limited information we have been given about this creature, should decidedly know nothing about what you decide to do. But I know what I have decided to do. I am going to create a piece of this mystical creature. I think this could be the thing that I bring to the trade expedition. I don't know what they're calling it. The bloody
Exhibition.
When
It's the science fair.
presentation. Yeah, the science fair.
when you say piece, do you mean you want to hack off a limb of
No,
the
no,
creature?
like I will draw and paint it if I can
Oh,
find
cool.
it.
So when it's mauling us to death, you will be standing there with your pen and paper and just
I don't
drawing
know.
it.
He looks like he has read there. So.
If you decide to get into a fight with a mystical creature and it mauls you to death, that is your choice.
Oh, I'll be looking at you as I'm dying, saying,
I
thank
will
you, thank you so much.
No, of course, I would not let harm come to you. But my point
Well.
is, I do not at all intend to bring harm or captivity onto this thing I want to draw. I simply want to bring it out so I can capture its presence in my art. And perhaps if I can channel my inspiration, the thing that I do that people scoff at or don't believe in maybe will inspire.
Okay.
Well,
So whenever you talk about what you are all deciding to do, I will go la 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 ba la 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 da la 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 la. It's just a
Forget, I
song.
know that.
all right.
The
Well,
hit song.
They played it out of the festival.
so, well, you do you, I guess, Lorenzo. Anyway, I regret to say that there is nothing in my study that we can use to pacify or sedate
La 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 la
the
la la
creatures.
la la la.
So I suggest that we go past the fishing guild and see if we can hire or purchase some nets.
Ah, that is not a bad idea. Do you need to go shopping for anything else?
Why is it?
Yes, but not for this.
Okay.
My wares are hugely depleted after some of my late night activities.
Mr. Narrator Man.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah, is there any towns in between here and Cass and...
Make a knowledge check.
For
Casablanca?
shopping,
I didn't
Yeah.
realize.
we're in Lucevera.
Yeah, but there might be like a cheap potion store on the way. I don't know.
Or just the potion store
Yeah.
in Lucevera around all the
Potion
guilds that do potion stuff.
Oh,
I have no idea.
Please invite me to a store where I can have a potion seller.
I have no idea.
Seller.
My
Why your strongest
potions are for the strongest of the strong, and you are the weakest of the weak. What's that off?
potions
It's
will
the
kill
potion
it.
seller.
My potions will kill a
Well,
dragon.
you'll meet him if you go to a potion shop.
Okay. I only know of
It's a man mucking with like one of the
the-
face contorter filters. And it's just him playing both a knight and a potion seller, just having an argument.
All right,
know of
I
the
feel it's
pickle
just us
priest.
planning. So, do you have
pickle
any thoughts?
TikTok thing. Yeah.
No, apparently not. I do not know anything, so it's... Yeah.
Oh, that's what that was.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I guess we head off in the direction of either the fishing guild or like a fishing shop.
I wonder if
Make a knowledge check.
Yeah.
I doubt Arvin has ever had cause to go to a fishing shop before.
Or, our conversation before said somewhere with nets, potentially,
Yeah,
as well.
so
So,
it was-
Only fishmonger.
Cool. We're good.
5 successes?
Yep.
You think the most immediate...
do you get a spirit? Oh, it was a critical number.
You think that the most best direct source for that would be to go to the Shipmasons Guild, or the Shipwrights Guild, sorry, which is actually literally across the river. You can see it from the window as
yeah.
you look out of your guild.
Knowledge check.
There's a boatmakers guild in Allegara.
Someone literally like flicking
throwing
out a
nets.
net.
You're like standing in the doorway, like,
Well, they're
where
doing, like,
can I find
the side rigging with like
Yeah.
the nets that go up
Yeah.
on the mast.
You see it
Fresh
every
fish.
day out of your window.
Standing on the balcony. Where could I find this off in the distance? Like, fresh fish. I wonder why it's such a mystery.
Fish nets, get your fish nets.
And catch
Nah.
mackerel, tuna, and even more.
Could catch could happily, easily catch livestock.
With this accent, I am from out of town.
With this accent, my product definitely works.
All accents are welcome in Lucevera. So, you
Okay.
going there?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. You head on out. Is anyone? So, you all three going, or is Lorenzo waiting for them to get back?
Definitely going.
I'll meet you at the northern town wall at the gate.
Cool.
Oogie doogie.
All right, see you there.
You guys head over to the Shipwrights Guild. It's a short walk. It probably takes you like 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. You curl across that large bridge with a bunch of industry on it and go around to an area. It's right next to a gate towards the Commons. It's sort of on the westernmost side of the guild ward. And it's actually right across from the Company of Anatomists in a little more industrious corner of the city. And there is a large building with a lovely blue roof that's been painted. And you can hear the sounds of hammers and saws, some of those handheld cranes with sort of men holding rope and counterweights lifting large bits of wood.
It's like Final Fantasy Online.
It's exactly like...
Like Lucius Minza, yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, like a dirty Limsa Laminza. So, you rock up. It's not typically the sort of place that deals with customers in that fashion, but you can walk into the guild hall and there's a sort of a front. I want to say a front desk.
Reception?
Front desks aren't. Well, reception isn't really that common, but there seems to be a couple of people near the front that can come up and approach you, and one of them does.
Cool. All right. This is also the same day that we went to the menagerie to get the
This
the
is
quest.
later that
it's-
day.
Yeah, it's afternoon. Cool.
A young lady approaches wearing sort of industrious canvas-looking clothes, like heavy white linens that are hard-wearing with a leather apron on. Her hair's all pulled up in a bun on top of her head with a couple of bits hanging down. She's got some sort of blackened fingers from work and... my brain isn't working tonight. Calloused hands, but also like several splinters in her hands from working timber. And she sort of looks up at you and says, hello.
Good afternoon, madam. I have an odd request. I am seeking a large net, or perhaps a medium-sized net. I'm not entirely sure what size you work in. Basically, I would like to purchase one.
Oh, we don't usually deal in off-the-street sales. More of a made-to-order sort of situation. Look. She looks left and right.
The mark of any trustworthy
The
salesperson.
shady net seller.
Hey, you got to increase those profits in the net income.
She says,
Very good.
the foreman's not looking. Usually we make a couple of medium-sized nets for fishermen, for some of the smaller boats. Come with the boat. We often do supplies, accessories, 20 silver for a net, big enough to catch a school of fish. But I'll sell one to you for 25.
Does that seem like stupidly overpriced?
No.
No? Okay.
20 silver is approximately 10 days of
Okay.
unskilled
Make a
laborer's
net.
work.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So to buy a finessed item that requires a lot of work to tie and make, you have to make all the rope, and then you have it's reasonable in this sort of a.
Correct me if I'm perhaps misinterpreting. You said they would sell it for 20, but she'll give it to me
No,
for
she
25.
said the price was usually 20.
Yes.
And she'll sell you one for 25 after saying that they don't sell. They don't sell
that
to
was
the
usually
customers.
with other
There's
stuff.
the
And
extra-
she's kind
the
of
extra
looking around.
five is
Yeah, so
collateral.
that's
The extra 5 is going in her pocket, so she can deal with the foreman saying, "Where's the net for this order?"
Yeah.
And it's not there anymore.
And I don't know if I can see anything or interpret that this net would be roughly a good size, like actually manageable.
So she can show you it if you'd like.
Sure. Yep. All right.
She takes you over and there's an order, and you can see like it's like for Lord Pentleberry, the order of one pleasure boat for cruising on the thing. There's like a parchment there that you can very easily read, and it's got a full accompaniment. There's like a nice chestnut box with some fishing nets and fishing rods that have been sourced from a different guild and put together. It's all packaged nicely, and she just like pops open with a chest, and there's a net in there that looks big enough to throw off and catch fish, which would obviously be big enough to throw on a dog. And she's like, "Hey, that one looks pretty good."
Excellent.
I look around to make sure that if he's going to take it, no one's looking at us.
No one seems to be paying
Okay.
attention. They think that you're being handled
fine.
effectively.
Oh, yeah. I just very casually just handed her 25 silver.
Okay. She takes the payment, and then she hands you this net, which you're kind of holding in your arms like that. She says, "All right, thank you." She clearly pockets 5 coins and then takes the rest of the coins.
Thank you for your assistance.
On your way then. And come back anytime you need a ship. They're usually a bit more expensive. And then as the door swings shut, you hear a, "Foreman, someone hasn't packed the order properly. We're down a net."
Walk.
Cool. Nice. Done. Let's go.
Okay. So you all meet up at the gates out of Allegrano.
Lorenzo's just been warming up. He's so excited because he's also just taken this as an excuse, as a rare opportunity to just sink his teeth into unbridled creative, I'm going to follow my passion here because that will lead me to something that finally my calling.
Yay!
So what exactly did you steal?
borrow.
I would say specifically colors would be the thing that Lorenzo, like he has,
Like pigments.
yeah, well, like and the means whereby to sort of make some washes of like, you know,
Throw out some colors at me. Like,
Oh.
we go on the full color of the rainbow here.
Primary colours.
it'll be it won't be the super expensive stuff.
Okay.
It'll be like greens, browns, sapias, and
This is Jazza knows this stuff. So I was like, okay, so you're avoiding the purples and the blues.
No,
and
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, okay, but it also
I'm like thinking about the monetary value of what you're taking.
it's all very
the indigo.
very
Yellow,
ochre,
green, brown.
burnt,
Yeah.
umber, like very earthy
Orange,
tones. Nothing too crazy. Maybe like there might be some like towards bluish, but not super vibrant. You know, like, you know, yeah,
Sort of more of your woad blue rather than.
yeah. It wouldn't be the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just sort of waiting at the gate.
Yeah, and I'd also say some like he has like quill and writing tools and stuff, but there might be some brushes and, you know, just a few. It's just practical stuff to see his vision about. Maybe some pieces of canvas and larger parchment that isn't his drawing book.
And you're standing on the edge of the town.
Yeah.
Kind of assessing everything. And my stream deck
he's-
doesn't work.
Oh, doesn't it?
No. But anyway.
What would you require?
Which one is yours?
What do you require?
All right, see if I can. I think it's this one.
Quick, it's just the streamer's chair that's visible. Hopefully the view count goes up now.
Bear with me. Is it off?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. Hopefully I fixed it. Is it not turning on?
No, it's just got that like Elgato logo on it and nothing. It's not doing anything.
Sick.
Great.
All right.
Anyway,
We'll take it
it'll
from
probably
here.
work. No, it'll work next time. Okay. I was going to say that as you're standing there waiting, a town guard from the gate walks over to you.
I was probably sketching the town guard.
Really?
Well, yeah.
No, not a royal guard.
Sorry, there we go.
There we go.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would have been like drawing like the scenery and like whoever was
Serious
in
town
it.
guard.
So, yeah, maybe.
Like one of those
Just like
fancy
not
one.
like a portrait, but just like as a like he's just trying to capture.
Yeah.
He's getting in that mode.
A guard strides over to you. What are you doing?
Oh, just drawing.
Who commissioned it?
I'm with the All Trades Assembly, and I like proudly show my emblem.
Yeah, and who commissioned it?
I work under Mistress De La Rosa's instructions.
And she told you to come here and draw a picture of me.
It is not of you specifically. It
Show
is
me.
and I show him.
Okay. Make a. I mean, how did we make a deft of hand check?
Okay. Oh, for how good it is.
Yeah, and charisma, deft of hand charisma. This is going to happen a lot, deft of hand
Yeah.
charisma, with your artistic expression.
I get advantage
Cool. Why?
because I have a feat that gives me advantage to art checks.
It's really specific.
It is. It's the feat artist.
Okay.
Artistic advantage.
That's
deft
a
of
feat
hand
that Jazza wrote
checks.
that I basically just
checks
glazed
out.
over because I wasn't interested in it.
So I just re-rolled. They were both failures anyway. So I got
so
three.
3 successes.
I am still warming up.
He like snatches the book, or goes to. You can try and stop him, but he's a town guard.
I don't resist.
He like pulls the book out of your hand and like takes 3 steps away from you while like reading it. This is about the time that the two of you rock up at the town gates. What does Lorenzo look like at this
very
stage?
anxious. He's got my book. Mm-hmm. That's like literally everything I own that I care about.
Okay.
And it has my feather in it too. So I'm like, if you please would return, sir.
Right. He just doesn't even, just makes a loud noise and puts a hand up to shush you. And he starts flicking through pages.
Have I done something wrong?
Hey, Lorenzo, what's going on?
He saw me sketching and took my book. No. What do you all have wrong with drawing pictures?
This guy was just drawing me for no reason.
No, I was drawing the valley. You just are.
He flicks back through pages and turns, and he's in there like the guard, and he's like,
He's got a really over-extenuated nose.
I sort of look over the guard's shoulder and say, he does warm-ups before schematics.
Yeah, he needs to see the size comparison of a person to a machine, so he's just currently learning how tall a person is. You know.
"Can I get you to make a deception check, Lorenzo? Because you specifically have stated that the guildmaster commissioned you to draw a picture at the door."
I didn't. Very specifically said I work under the instruction of Mistress Delarosa.
So you're not lying, which means you're lying. You're being deceptive. You can't not lie to become.
I got nothing. I got 0.
Okay.
Freaking.
All right.
A firm. He looks back at the other guards at the gate and he says, "Keep watch." And then he grabs you by like the scruff. Even though you're bigger than you could beat him up, you reckon? Like you could physically take him.
Yeah,
he's
but he's
probably like 5'10", probably like my height. You're like 6'3", but he's got authority and he like walks you outside the town gates about 20 meters towards a tree and like towards the shade of a tree and near the outside wall of the town. And then he like pushes the book firmly back into your chest, really firmly, tightly. And then he says, be more careful with this stuff. Don't waste your time frivolously doing this garbage in my city. It's a really beautiful likeness. You useless time waster. If you ever do take commissions for portraiture, I think my missus would, well...
Well, you know what? And I gently just rip out that little page and hand it over to him. I say, if you like it, it's yours.
He sort of takes it. He takes it like he's confiscating, and he's like, "Don't draw pictures of the front of the castle. This is defended by the crown. It's a security weakness, so it is." And then he like jostles with himself for a little bit. No one else can really tell what's happening, and he pushes you again one last time. This time, like quite firmly, but you can tell as his hand like pushes into the center of your chest, it would sort of innately make your hands go up, and you feel 2 silver drop into your hand.
He's paying your tuition.
And then he storms off back to the gate, and he says, "Now bugger off!"
First aid job.
Yes, sir.
Lorenzo, are you okay?
I signal from a distance. I'm like, we can go now.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. And as we sort of scamper off, I'm like, I think that was my first commission. And he's like, he takes one of the 2 silver and puts it away in the "I owe my daddy" jar.
Yes.
And he's looking at the 1 silver in his hand like, I could make a living from this.
Yeah, whole 2 silver. That's
Well,
congratulations.
Technically 1, but a win's a win.
Yeah.
And I like proudly puts it in his pocket. All right.
That's a day's pay.
Yeah.
Perhaps in the future, less high profile and, say, authoritative clients.
Yes. Okay. Very well.
He's just going to be drawing everyone.
I can't wait to hear what Bianca thinks of this.
Adventure. Let's go.
Speaking of,
Would Lorenzo have
carry
expected
this.
someone to react like that?
No. Well, yes to the aggression potentially. You're
'cause
a bit
it's-
naive to the you're still naive, and honestly, you're being bold, more and more bold every day. You're in a city where art is frivolous, and had you specifically said like, you know, Duke Earl asked me to do an artwork of the gate and then pass the check, you would have been like, oh, okay, there's some commission. But because you were just this weird guy doing art, especially with the talk of weird people doing weird creative stuff, getting killed in the street. So, yeah, it's not something frivolous. Frivolous creativity is looked down upon.
Mm-hmm. Lorenzo sort of he's internalizing what's happened because he's trying to find the best way to do what he wants to do if we see this creature. So, yeah.
Cool. You begin the journey and you spend the better part of the afternoon following the river, walking down the gentle grassy plains and the roads. There are quite well maintained roads by medieval standards, heading along the riverbank, curling along. This is actually the direction you headed with Havada the first time. You can see the woods that you found that strange shrine in appear to the north and then sort of become to the west as you northwest as you sort of walk east, and they move past, and you they disappear behind you. You continue curling down the riverbank until the sun becomes an orange orb in the sky.
Oh, I point this out to Lorenzo.
Okay.
Because you've never been here before. So I'm like, that is
Yeah.
where we found the creepy statue. That is where we got attacked.
Wow, it is beautiful. This whole place.
I mean, it's kind of scary to be honest. I don't like it.
I
Gives
never
me
got to really
heebie-jeebies.
look at the countryside on my way into Lucevera. Yeah, Allegrano. There is so much to see. I enjoyed our other venture. Maybe Mistress Della Rosa will have us venture out more often.
Maybe.
You see people going home for the night as the sky becomes a beautiful pink, just dappled sunlight coming through the last bits of this very gentle cloud cover on the horizon. You can also see mountains to the southeast and some little fishing boats and small boats being pulled off the river as people head home, children running home in the sunset, like down the street, laughing and sort of shouting at each other that they'll see each other in the morning and waving. And really you're walking through this beautiful, like serene place. And in this moment, it's kind of juxtaposed to the last time you came out here to the north and you had this horrible, violent encounter of just how peaceful and perfect this place is compared to what a lot of people have in their life. Even the oligarchy of Kajet for Leone, it's a lot more like for the individual. There's a lot more like tussling and bustling and direct fighting and little infighting, and clans will, at the very least, like a tavern brawl will be more common as people have disagreements over people's virtue. Lucevera has a lot of law and order. Others here were alive at the war and they remember the country then. And yeah, it's just a peaceful moment as you head into the closest town larger than a hamlet that might be able to accommodate you, as the river starts to just rapidly bend a few times and then head straight again. It's rather unusual. It's very odd. I almost want a knowledge check, probably from Arvin or Leone. Actually, it's kind of pointless, but throw me the knowledge check.
Okay, I'll do it.
I want to give you more
I want to give
exposition,
law.
but it's not really common knowledge.
Did you want just one of us to roll or both of us?
You can each.
3.
3.
Oh God, Lorenzo should actually too. I just realized what you were looking for. All of you can knowledge.
Wow.
Oh, good. 3.
Four.
Oh, 4.
Lorenzo won't. Yeah, Lorenzo got 1.
You have advantage, Lorenzo.
Oh,
So re-roll the 2 fails.
2.
Okay. Well, Lorenzo still doesn't know. Leone and Arvin, you immediately pick up that there is some really strange, like small mounds and rocky little hills. They're very low. You wouldn't call them mountains. But where the river rapidly bends around and where the town is built on, it seems like while the natural course of a waterway is to erode and destroy and just create these straight, and then they do these gentle bends, there are these strange rocks, and you're assuming it's actually the mineral composition of these particular rocks that the water has just either not eroded quickly or has just pushed around, and they haven't. So something weird about these rocks here that caused this weird little whoop, zigzag before the town.
Interesting.
And you walk up into the town, and yeah, you're in the main streets of a small town.
We are finding our lodgings for the evening.
Sounds like a good idea.
I might go offer my services to us.
Seeing if you can repeat your trick from
Well-
the first expedition.
I'm like looking longingly at my 1 silver, like, I'd like to hold on to this one for at least a day.
Well, you're welcome to try your luck. We'll be sort of gesture to whatever like tavern or likely place is in this town.
There is a small ale house in the town that you can see. There's a sign on the front that says the Fourth Bend, and then in like a paintbrush that doesn't seem originally to be have on the sign, there's an ER after Bend, just it's been like graffitied on there with someone's paint. This is the Fourth Bender. And yeah, it's just an ale house that you can walk into.
Sounds good.
We'll see if there's lodging there or if someone who can offer nearby.
Cool.
I offer my services to the innkeeper or whoever. I'm like, if you need it.
So you head to the ale house?
Yeah, I reckon.
All right, you all walk into this small ale house that can accommodate maybe 10 people. There's a family dinner table that has stools, like lots of stools around it. There's some ale barrels. And as you walk in, maybe like a very small, very diminutive and soft-featured boy, maybe 15, like a young man, is sort of standing there, and he looks up, polishing a mug, and he goes, "Ma, first customers. Hello."
Hello.
Greetings.
First customer?
First for the day or first ever?
Well, for the evening.
Oh.
Yes.
Cool.
After the festival, people seem to be
Oh, dear.
not thinking about ale too much. How can I help you all?
Guess that's a good point.
Cool. It is like, getting on into the evening, like sun has set by
Your
this point. Yeah?
sun's, it's the last lights of twilight. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I presume, like, looking around it, we're probably interested in some food and such. Cool. All right, round of drinks for whoever's interested, some food, and do you offer lodgings?
Lodgings.
Yeah.
Yes,
place
we
to
do, he
stay.
says through gritted teeth.
Or do you know of anyone who does?
We do.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yep, it's half a silver per person. How many of you are there?
3.
Well,
3.
Two.
You see, he like winces again.
Is something wrong?
No, everything's fine, he says with a
Let
smile.
me guess. Do you have to then, because there's like one bed, so do you have to sleep with everyone, but otherwise it's your bedroom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I have to sleep with mum and dad and
I had the feeling.
Sam and June,
Bad luck, buddy.
Mary, Frank, Fred.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah.
Well, do you want the money or not?
None of these kids are.
I don't, but mum does, so pay up.
does your family of all those people require perhaps some firewood chopping or some work to be done? Because I can offer my payment of lodging through service this evening.
Make a charm roll. Challenge level 3.
2.
No, mum and dad are very good at making us do all the chores. Sorry.
Telling up
Pay up.
food and drink and lodge. What's
About well, food and drink for the night and lodging,
Yeah.
maybe it's still all encompassing at half a silver each.
okay?
It's like
So it's one and a
everything
half
covered
essentially.
for the 3 of you. Yeah.
All right,
Okay, I'll pay one. I'll pay one.
Okay.
How do you pay half?
We've covered this.
Do you clip it?
No. You would in any medieval society, but if you cut the King Myrto's face, you'll get a punch in the face.
Leone beats
The
me
king
to
is
this
beloved.
one. Leone beats me to this one.
I'm only paying one. Someone has to pay the other
Leone's
half.
paid 1 silver. The boy's like,
Lorenzo nods and says, I wish you comfortable lodgings. I might see if I can find another.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll go out and see if I'll offer the same to a few others that I find.
I'll get you to make another charm check, challenge level 3.
Okay. I got 4.
4 successes. You manage to find someone who's willing to let you sleep in their stable.
Perfect. That's
Far from perfect.
So, oh no, the Lorenzo, he was homeless for like almost a year. Like, he's cool with it.
You have a roof over your head
Yeah.
and 3 out of 4 walls.
Shelter,
So it's good.
warm straw, so chuffed.
Okay, cool.
That's a huge win.
Okay.
Nice
It's not a
aromas.
gutter.
And you sleep, you have passable food and a couple of passable beers.
I would like to do something.
Okay.
So, I ask Arvin if I can look at the net.
Of course.
Cool. I want to see, is there a way I can engineer this to be better? So what I'm thinking is like, can I explain what I want to do to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, before you say anything. Because I don't know if you're going to stop me.
big.
No, I just wanted to paint a picture for you.
Oh, okay,
So I just want to paint this picture of Leone spreading out this net around a round table in a small house with beer. And at the table is Arvin, Leone, and 7 children all sitting around, like just like their legs kicking under the table, helping pull out the net, and just like watching, completely enthralled by whatever you're doing.
Great.
And 2 drunk townspeople who are just like leaning over, and you have to kind of like lift their elbow out of the net and then put them. You can actually hold like corners of the net down with their like drunken leanings.
Thank you. So basically, I'm thinking I want to attach like something heavy, so rocks. To
Okay.
the bottom of it, so then it's weighed down. And then I also want to see if there's a way. I have taken, I changed my ability to improvised impalement, I think it is.
Okay.
No, tether bolt. Okay. So I want to, it lets me shoot with a rope, tether bolt. I want to see if I can also theoretically attach the net to throw.
Okay, can I quickly read Tetherbolt? I like this. I'm not going to cancel it, but I just want to... My brain needs to know how I'm going to modify this to make it
That's
work.
okay.
I'm not like, no, you can't do it. This is cool. But I'm like,
just
okay,
the
load an
rocks.
ammunition, consume an ammunition, tethers the weapon to a target spacebar. Tell you what, I'm happy to let you use this exact same skill if you hit to net them, basically,
Yeah.
at a distance.
Sick. Great.
That's so cool.
So, but it's obviously one use.
And I have to-
Because then the net is launched.
Yeah.
Not the net is destroyed, but you then have to
We need to
retrieve it,
retrieve it,
reset
yeah.
it up. So you need to make
But
a net.
you'd be able to go and pick up the net and just throw it at that point.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, in order to make these adjustments, would you like me to roll? I also have crafty, which gives me advantage on engineering with jury-rigged models.
This is exactly that. So this is a jury rigging test where you're basically using knickknacks, rocks, weights to effectively change the application of something in the field.
Sick.
This perfect. So make an engineering check.
Cool. And I will, of course, be assisting.
So to make this large fishing net both weighted
Yep.
and
Attachable.
attached to a bolt that can be fired from your arbalast.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give you an engineering check. The challenge level for it is going to be 3 to make it work, but you'll be firing at a penalty.
Sure.
If you can get 4, you'll be firing like normally.
Okay.
If you can crazily get 6 or more successes, you can actually have an advantage on the shot.
Okay.
Cool. And what does she get from assistance from me? Was it anything?
You get 1 extra dice.
Ooh, cool.
Okay, and so I get to re-roll
You get to reroll 2 failures.
2 failures. Okay. All right.
Be awesome, be awesome, be awesome, be awesome. 3. Oh, ooh,
5 successes.
Oh, I thought you grabbed the...
Almost,
That's a
almost.
sweeping. No, you had 1 fail, did you?
1 fail.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with 7 successes, you, over the course of the evening, with some drunken input, the help of some children, the help of Arvin, you fashion and modify this fishing net bolt. Now, I'm going to let you have one
you, Phil.
improvement of your choice.
Sure.
So the improvement you can have on the shots is you can get +1 to the hit roll when you fire it. So basically that card would be +1 to hit.
Yep.
The second improvement I'm going to let you choose from is that you can have fashioned 2 instead of 1. So you can have cut the net into 2 dog-shaped shapes and then have 2. But if you do that, then you have -1 penalty instead of neutral because they're way smaller.
Okay.
So you can have 2 with -1 penalty, 1 with +1, or the third option is you can have it so it can be retrieved and reset up to fire again.
Without taking a turn? Or...
Well, you literally couldn't do it. So there was no way to reuse the
Before,
bolt in
would
the
it?
encounter
Before it'd be you fire it once, and if you miss, you just have to pick it up
and throw it.
like a
But,
net.
but this is like a system
lets
to
you
like
pull it back.
ratchet the net back into place and then you can reuse the bolt.
Decisions.
They sound like pretty good ideas.
I
I
took-
think I just came up with them on the spot.
Sounds like you're a game designer or something.
The single big net, can that potentially...
If they're right
grab-
next
yeah,
to
more
each
than
other,
one?
it would still be hard. Like probably not.
It's not me.
Mario, is that you? It might have been. It's you, Joan. Sorry. Just decided to an
Talk
hour
to
into it.
Arvin about all the ideas that I have come
Imagine
up
if they'd
with.
done this in the town that Harvard was in instead of the town before the town that Harvard was in.
I just been keeping. I was
My
like, I
partner's
wanna
going to
do
be
this.
real drunk by the time we get
Patience,
there.
patience. You'll
I'm
have
so
5 minutes at
sorry.
the end.
Okay, what do you pick?
What do you think?
Let me see. Let's go the 2. Why not?
That's
A -1 to hit?
-1 to hit, but we get 2.
2 shots, yeah.
A higher chance of
Okay.
getting 1, and then the opportunity of
going again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like, I'll be running around, so hopefully I can keep one in place. He says very unsure of himself.
It's probably good that Lorenzo isn't in the same place as you guys are doing this.
All
Pardon,
right,
huh?
you make your 2 net bolts, and yeah, the night passes. You leave as a group, all together, and you head towards Casanara.
Yay.
The day follows, becoming conscious that Dragon is here. The day follows rapidly, and you walk through blissful paths down the lovely riverside for the full day, and it is, in fact, it's about, there's probably you stop for lunch somewhere, like have some treat for your own food. But the journey is about 20 miles. I think it's
Mile, Dave.
10, 20. Yeah, I think so.
It's like
might be 5.
45 Ks ish. 40 Ks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big day of traveling.
Get my hands.
It's just shy of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically full day on the road
fire.
doing like the average walking speed's like 4K an hour. So 3.5, 4K
sounds
an hour.
good.
So you basically on your feet for about,
10 to 12 hours.
yeah.
Good thing I had that meal.
No.
Cool. And you arrive at Casanara, a moderately sized town, bigger than the last one you were in, that you can actually see a couple of multi-story buildings towards the center of it that's also nestled in the river with a large bridge heading over towards the south.
Oh, I wanted to ask about the stones.
Well, you didn't. You can ask about them on the way back.
Damn it.
And you all arrive into town late that night.
Do we know where Harvardar is staying?
You'd guess at the tavern.
Oh, let's go to that tavern.
Okay.
We
you
head
go
to the
to a
tavern.
larger establishment. This is called the Scribe's Wife. And it is, it's actually more like an inn. There is, you would
Please
guess, a
describe
room
it.
or maybe 2 rooms. It's a much larger establishment. And it's a bar with multiple tables downstairs. And when you arrive and walk into the room with Lorenzo, there is a large man that you're vaguely familiar with. How are you in this room?
I mean, like, how late is it at this stage?
It's probably like sun's gone down.
Sun's going down. So, but it's just going down.
Twilight's just ended. They've just kind of scraped into town at the tail end of Twilight.
Havada is just sitting.
Just mic up a little.
Oh, sorry. Havada is sitting by, sort of off to the side somewhere. He is surrounded by children who are all sitting in like just sort of various semicircles around him, and he's just telling stories at this stage. Just sort of doing very much like the sort of the scary sort of scary stories, not overly, but just like talking about, essentially like trolls and playing into I imagine the myths of the North Stark, but also then, talking about his triumphs and various sort of adventures that he's had in the frozen north.
Very good. You all arrive into this. There's some tall tales being told.
There is the man that we recognize.
Hello.
I don't want to into he's telling stories.
And looks up and sort of sees the 2 of you, well, the 3 of you, but specifically the 2 of you, and is like,
Oh, no, please. Don't let us interrupt. It was interesting.
yeah. So he finishes this story, which is very much in that ideal of, essentially in this case, very much the same sort of style from The Hobbit of him like outsmarting these trolls and the sun rose and turned them to stone.
I'm going to draw him telling his stories.
At which point he turns, he's like, I imagine sort of this like, oh, one more. He's like, nope, I need to stand up, and you all need to get to bed. Sort of rises to his sort of full height, straightens his back. There's just a series of pops and crunches up his spine. You realize at this point, sitting, he is about eye level with you, and he was on like a stool. He's now standing. He is about just over 7 foot.
Oh, so my height.
You're like 6'5", right?
A little it's really not that much.
Yeah. It's like
How tall?
This Harvardar's like
I
a
didn't
space
write that.
marine next to a human.
Okay, cool.
Your character you describe as being like 6. You're
6.5.
6'4" is really tall. 6'6"
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
basketball player tall.
Yeah.
You're huge. I just picture Lorenzo as Lawson sized.
Yeah. Havada's like pushing 8 foot.
Yeah.
I imagine that's
Yeah,
sort of
He's
like-
massive.
Yeah. Very, very large and just very broad
You're
as
a
well.
fridge.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
as he wanders over and he says,
Hello.
my friends, what do I know? Did I know they were coming?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have.
No, you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Coming.
What brings you here?
A client.
Business.
Yes.
We are here for different purposes. You see, I have come to create an artwork of a type of creature that we believe you have knowledge of.
Oh, so you don't want the pay then? Interesting.
I have nothing to do with what you are embarking on. I have my own vision. But I would like.
Whereas, I feel like as you're talking, Avada's eyes just sort of scan over the group in this very sort of confused fashion. So that's when he goes, "Where is Her Majesty?"
Oh, Miss Feather in a hat.
she's been grounded.
grounded. Yeah, that is exactly the word I was getting at.
He's just giant smile. He's like,
You,
"I knew a troublemaker when I
She
saw her."
rustled her feather under the client's nose.
She would. I apologize. We have not been introduced. Yeah.
no, not properly. I heard many tales of your interesting journey and the beautiful sculpture, apparently, that you had to fell. But I am Lorenzo. It is a pleasure.
And shakes your hand. Sort of stops and goes, You eat well, I see.
Well, we do live with Amelie's. Amelie.
Yes.
You have not tried her biscotti.
Oh, I have. It has been some time since Amelie's food stopped going to my arms and started going to stomach. Yeah.
I see. It is hard not to be well fed around Amelie. Look,
I understand.
I will allow my friends to tell you of their intent at some point later. But the reason I guess we are being, I am being odd about it is this creature we are pursuing. A hound-like creature with a horn. We hear you know of and believe it has a means of sensing people's intent.
I have checked the name of it 3 times since we started this, and every time I've forgotten. It's like Canum Cornu or
It is Canum Corner.
Canum Cornu. I was very close. Yes, Canum Cornu, I believe you call it.
Is that its name?
Yeah.
Also known as dog with horn.
Okay.
It's what
Also known as a dog with a horn.
It's what we call
Sick, was that alright?
horn dog. Is what we call it.
Oh, we should make a song about that.
That
That's
was my nickname in high school.
They did not enjoy translation.
Yes. Well, this is partly why we are here to find this creature, but also seek you out because we believe you know of it in more detail than we do.
Yeah, is a fairly sized canine. Tends to roam in packs.
A fairly sized canine for Havada. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, like for Havada,
For Havada.
I imagine Havada is used to megafauna. Like Havada
Yeah, this
is
big
used
animal, yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like I imagine in the sense of they are these
For
are
you,
animal-
they're a fairly sized canine.
Yeah,
Fairly,
they're fairly sized. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm sitting there like I'm used to dire wolves. Like I'm not. I'm not I'm sitting there like yes, this is adorable.
Can I roll like insight to like
Yeah, actually,
Work
that's a
that
great
out.
idea. Let's make an inside check.
What's the name
That
of that
doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Call-
what's our insight?
they are called
intuition. I
something
think,
great. It's a really good name.
Or it's cute.
Canum Cornu.
Another inn.
Oh, the inn was the it was the
scribe's
scribe's wife. Yeah.
Is
Insight
that
check. Doesn't
intuition?
Intuition check. Yes. How dare you ask for insight in this house?
One.
Oh.
No, it must be small. They must be really cute.
I nod
Yep.
and sort of take it as face
And
value.
also, just on the fact that this is called the scribe's wife, you do note that there is a very bookish nature to a lot of the people here.
We're going to say a lot of male patrons for some
There
reason.
are a lot of male patrons. There's a lot of black stained fingers and people sitting at the bar with ink and quill, like writing on books and documents around the place.
They're all poets like lounging lazily as they wait for inspiration in their muse to arrive.
Are we being like super loud then?
Yeah.
Like, is it like a library?
Fully loud.
We have wandered into a ye olde Starbucks. Like,
Yeah,
Say-
yeah.
You say we. I think.
Tell me, Havada, what do they like to eat? What brings is food an enticement for them? What brings them out?
It can be.
Who,
do
the
I know
writers?
what I know?
You know, I'll get you to make, beyond what I've said, I'll get you to make a knowledge check.
Knowledge would be under intelligence. Would I be able to pair that with wisdom?
Yes.
Yes. Cool. So that is knowledge is 2 and wisdom is 3, which makes 5. That is 4 successes.
Yes.
You're aware that they have quite a robust appetite favoring meat, and they are, like most predators and pack hunters, quite keen on food.
Would I think they'd, being pack hunters and hunters in general, do I believe that they would prefer live? Do they prefer?
They're not picky.
No. Okay.
They're kind of quite like most canines in that sense.
Well, yes, they are at least majorly predominantly predators.
And were you to think of when you last saw them or of where they were roaming, where would you point us to?
Last I heard, a wanderer told me of a pack roaming not far from here. It was to the south, or
It's to the southeast, yeah.
yes, to the southeast from here. Not far.
Very well.
What is the intention with these?
This is where we part ways. I will go
Okay,
find my lodgings, but my intention is to create a masterpiece to present to the king. And he says it like with a gleam in his eye that he really believes this might be important. Where is the nearest butcher?
There's one in town you can direct him to that is most definitely closed.
Down the road, it will be open in morning, though.
Okay. I will meet you
And-
outside town to the south at...
Maybe not even like everyone's house. Like, I don't know that they need a butcher here. Like, most people will just butcher their own animals, but I'll say yes for the sake of
It's
ease.
market day tomorrow.
There's a market stall that sells meat.
Yeah. There is a local like huntsman who sells
sells
stuff.
game and stuff. Yeah, fantastic.
I will be on my way to find some lodgings. I will meet you shortly after sunrise at the south entrance of town.
Okie dokie.
All right. See you
Fair
then.
evening, Avada. And I'll shake your hand again and set up.
Make a charm check.
To find a bed?
Yep.
Okay. Please don't suck. Okay, it was 2.
2 successes.
Yeah.
Tree.
I'll do work for it.
Yeah,
I like-
you can spend the night staying. You're still in the core. So basically, as you get further away from civilization, it will become both easier and harder depending on where you're going. Some places people will be like way more forgiving because you're a traveler.
Yeah.
Other places will be more like you're not known to us, so bugger off.
Yeah.
But in this place, it's fine. You find
How
a place,
much-
you
how
have to
much-
do some stable cleaning.
Yeah.
Just quickly, because I don't believe I have it written down. How much money would Havada have on him, generally?
Some amount
Okay.
that is not consequential, maybe 50 silver or something like that.
Can I I'll turn to the others and say, like, your friend does not stay with you.
Apparently,
No, he likes to do his own thing and work off.
he's a lone wolf.
Havada, like, whole belly laughed because I have seen eyes of lone wolf. They are not in that man. He's going to, like, do I get the sense that this is a case of, you know, he's very, like, sort of, he's broke.
He looks
essentially.
poor.
Yeah.
He has the look of a man who can't afford to pick up the bill.
Yeah. So I will walk out and just say, he will like just stick like your duck under, like pull himself throughout the door and like seeing, I imagine you just like
You're across the road negotiating with someone. They're like, yeah, I guess you can clean the stables and stay the night.
Havada's just going to shout because I don't remember if you introduced yourself, which means Havada has 100% forgotten your name.
Okay.
As you
No,
just-
I did say
You did,
Lorenzo.
you did.
You did, but also, like as I said,
Okay.
I'd missed it, so I imagine
Yeah.
Havada has as well. Where he just sticks his hand out and goes, "Boy!"
I'm grateful for the. Oh, yes.
I have spare room in the inn. Come stay in the warm. You'll need strength for tomorrow.
Oh, and
Just ducks his head back in.
I thank the person I was talking to for their potential generosity, but
Yeah,
I
of
have
course.
back. I'm gonna like walk back in and like. I do not want to impose, but
I am old friends with the scribe and his wife.
This is the building is the scribe's wife.
I cannot pay. Is that
Yeah. Money when you're on the road is inconsequential.
Thank you. I'm most grateful. And if you don't mind, I might head off to bed now.
No worries. Give me a moment. I have to pay for your room. Goes off to the
Oh,
bar.
no. No, I will not be in imposition. I will go speak to. I was prepared to do the stable work for the night. It's very usual for me. It's
okay.
not a problem.
Nah. Turns around, just walks over to the bar and like drops the silver or however much the thing is, and points it at room for my new friend. This one. Points it.
We'll add it to your tab, Avada.
Excellent.
I bow
Another ale as well,
gratefully.
please. This is good.
Meanwhile, I'm paying for food and whatever for Leona and I because I know
One
we saw
silver
Lorenzo
for the
go
night.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Good night, friends.
For
Thank
both
you.
of you combined.
Yeah.
Night.
And I head up to
Cool.
bed.
You guys have anything to discuss before?
Yes.
Cool. Go for it. Let's get into it.
All right. That was our friend Lorenzo and his eccentricities.
He is perplexing soul.
Yes. He has decided to forego the mission we were dealt by the menagerie in LUCEVERA to capture at least one of these hounds. For
Captured for what purpose?
presentation to the king for his menagerie.
I don't want to ruin the story here, but I imagine Havada's in the mindset of like, if you want to kill an animal, kill an animal. If you want to, see an animal and, enjoy its things, but also is very much against captivity.
Look, I would say probably not to that degree because, I mean, yeah, you're a wilds man, but you're also a Norstark and you would have like hounds in the tribe. You would be aware of the concept of like breaking a wild horse to bring it into the tribe. So I think putting one in a cage and poking at it would be really against you. So it would kind of be like, but for what purpose do you want it? Is it for companionship? Is it...
I am not familiar. What is this king's menagerie?
Excellent question.
It's basically like a zoo.
Yeah, but what's kind of, is like a large area.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's very
not
nice.
a box.
I'm assuming they're pampered.
Yes, they are pampered.
I believe he said he wanted it as a companion, like a friend.
Oh, well then yes, all good. Anyway, proceed.
Yes. So we, the two of us, Lorenzo will sketch from afar.
Yeah, he's not getting a
majestically
share
and
of the money.
heroically. However, we are going to try to capture these hounds, and we have heard that they have the ability to detect intention.
Oh yeah.
Yes. How does that work?
Well,
Like they can feel your every feeling, or
they know what you're going to do before you do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
is it just like any thought, or just intention? Like, could you like communicate in some way?
Your main insight would be like, as far as a dog could interpret.
Yeah.
Like it's still a dog.
I feel like I just know they're a bitch to catch. Like,
Unheard of catching
like it's
them.
just like you like it's
And like Arvin is getting notably and very quickly more and more inquisitive and sort of like starting to like grill you. It's like,
you were forming.
yeah, are they battable? Can you like sort of reason with them?
I mean, if you
If you're a dog.
Look, from what I understand, I've heard of less of the catching, shall we say, capturing of these creatures, more of the what's a word I'd use? Like
Bonding?
bonding, yeah.
Right.
Like there's certain tribes, people tend to spend time around these creatures. They're very loyal once broken.
I'm imagining that there'll be some sort of a trial or coming of age where someone would go out and try and connect with such creatures. Is that sort of how it's done?
Maybe.
All right.
You use a lot of big words that I don't
Yes.
How
understand.
do you
My
break
LUCEVERA
it?
not
I'm
well.
wondering if it's possible to sort of negotiate with one and perhaps convince it that, a life with a large field and looked after for its every need and given hunt and game would be a very attractive lifestyle. Like, if they're so intelligent,
Maybe.
it could be possible just to convince them.
I mean, I was just gonna chuck a blindfold on and just try and shoot and see what happens. If I don't know where I'm shooting, then they will never know as well.
That is an insane point. Like, that is so crazy.
It's just like believe in the heart of the cards. Like, fire my ranged weapon blindly.
That is an interesting concept. However, I feel that they will still feel your intention to catch them, which might be the issue. I think I'd still prefer you to see where you're shooting, because I know how heavy these weights are, and I would not like to be captured. Beside that point, you are definitely Plan B.
Okay.
So I guess the question is, do you know of any sort of surefire ways to capture, or track, or otherwise deal with these creatures?
We'll knock it
Well,
out.
They can be tracked by normal means. You would track it by looking for, footprints, droppings, strange markings, catching.
If they can feel intentions, then they would be able to feel the intention of you tracking them, and then if they're that intelligent, could they then double
Oh
back
no,
and
they need
mess
to
with
be
you?
within proximity to know.
So it is a
intention.
certain area, a certain range on them.
Don't know what range is, but yeah.
Interesting. And Arvin sort of just loses himself into his own mumblings and is probably of no further use in this particular conversation.
He doesn't get out much, does he?
No. He lives in a, not basement,
Attic.
Attic, yes.
He
He actually interjects, attic!
as Havana looks over and sees the net.
Oh.
That ready. He's like,
Oh.
"Did you make this?"
Not quite. The net was a much larger net. There was this big. This is one half of that. I put on, and I explained all of the engineering stuff.
Havana watches on with all of the interest, with what is visibly none of the understanding. Like, he is just very excited for how excited you are, and is just watching yeah.
So I'm very excited to try it out.
Yes.
Yes.
Would be
Hence,
excited to
hence the
see
whole
it.
blindfold thing, because then I can actually shoot it and see what happens. It'd be so exciting.
But then if you're blindfolded, how do you see what happens?
That is a good point.
So perk up. Attach the rope to the blindfold as well.
I can see. I missed.
I can just,
a kid pulling a tooth.
I immediately pictured the bolt loosing, the knot not untying, and Leone's head just getting smacked into the back of the crossbow.
Just KO, just boom.
Don't do that.
No.
So yes, that is why we are here.
Ah, I see. Good, yeah. Well, yes, it was a pack, last I heard, roaming, not far to the southeast from here.
Shall we sleep the night?
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you how
I'm just
you
thinking of
approach this.
time for the rest of the session, so I just don't know where we're going with this.
All right,
Up
bedtime.
to you guys. You go to sleep. You wake up the next day. What are you doing?
Lorenzo wakes up early.
Okay.
He had said specifically, it's too early, isn't it? He wants to go out while people are getting ready for market stuff.
Okay.
Are people getting ready for market stuff?
I mean, sure. Why not?
I find one that looks like they're selling meat.
Sure. There's a hunter selling like rabbits and things they've caught. Bow and arrow.
Is it actually?
is.
No. It was Dragon's suggestion, so I was
It is
just
Havana
crediting
in a
the
fake
suggestion.
mustache. It's like, rabbit.
Is this your game? Is you're actually like?
You arrive right as you get that final of the full rabbit pelt being like pulled off the animal, and there's and it just gets hung up on a hook.
What can I get of your finest meat for this? And I pull out a silver.
2 airs.
I would be
Not even a whole pelt?
I would be most grateful.
And he grabs the one. He goes to grab the one he was about to get, like he just skinned, and then he like goes like 3 down further on the hook and gets like 2 older ones that had been put up. Still there that day, but like he skinned them like half an hour before, rather than
They're dry.
yeah.
They'll smell more.
And he gives you 2 hairs. Now I say hairs being like a big bunny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had to say bunny.
And they've got little bits of twine tied around their feet, and you can hang them off your belt.
Thank you,
Which is
Pill.
what usually people would
Now
do.
I'm down from 1 silver to none.
Cool. But you have 2 hairs
Big, juicy
hanging from your pants.
Yeah. And
Havada has not accurately portrayed the scale of what you're about to be fighting, which I love. I know you're not going to be fighting it.
I'm not going to be fighting.
I know you're not going to be fighting.
I'm leaving town. I'm heading southeast. I write a note and leave it at the entrance of town. Like, put a stick on it. And
At the entrance to town?
to where I told them I'd meet them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we?
Town guard is like, what the f?
Lucky there isn't any town guards, but yeah. Okay.
I head
Bye.
off.
I would love.
You guys wake up
I was gonna say,
a
I
little
love
while
if we
later.
don't perceive the note. Like we just.
And I am
completely
going to make you to
miss
make a
it.
check for it.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
It's because, okay, so you wake up the
Good
next morning.
morning.
Lorenzo's not in the inn at all.
Today is the day.
And there's no note on his bed or bedside table or at the inn at the desk.
No.
There's just one squeezed in. How did you secure it to the sign?
I dug a stick into the ground quite firmly and like pierced the note onto the stick. So it's like
Just on the ground, randomly.
Okay.
Great vote of confidence there.
For
You guys know
people
as
who
you get
couldn't see
up.
it on camera, and for the podcast listeners, Dave did the sort of wobble hands of.
I would just like to make note as you are waking up at the shuttered sort of shutters on the building are open to let some fresh air in. You notice quite a gust blowing in from the outside as there's a morning breeze.
Quite like noticeable.
Yeah, they're probably like 12, 14 kilometer wind, like a decent little light breeze.
Oh, it's breezy today.
Starting to push. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well,
Has anyone seen Lorenzo?
I have not, but I'll be honest. He has inferred that he wanted to have nothing to do with our operation, so
yes,
he's probably made himself scarce.
The lone wolf thing. Yes.
Now he did tell you a meeting point.
Yes. Yeah, he said we'd meet outside the gate.
Is Havada coming with this Havada down there this morning? Hello.
Avada's like down. He's got his like the same sort of outfit you saw last time: the cloak, the shield on his back, and the large hammer on his
Are
waist.
you coming with us? You don't have to. Just-
I always enjoy these sorts of expeditions, and to see the Canaan Corno up close would be pretty fantastic.
I think your knowledge and skills would be very advantageous in this endeavor.
Another big word. Excellent.
It'd be good to have you.
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
Would you recommend that we get anything to try and lure them, like some?
Soup.
Is anything they're drawn to, like certain
Did you
smells
say
or
silk?
food, perhaps?
Soup is just as bad. I have silk and soup.
And myrrh.
Murder.
No.
Yes, we all watch fight. He was saying, yes, well, meat normally in its rawest form.
Oh, do they have any like favorites or preferences, or just any meat?
Any meat.
I could test out my ballista again.
Rabbits, deer, human, not fast.
What?
Cool. Some are probably more available than the others. Shall we quickly visit the market on the way out?
Wait, can you just say that last one, the second last one again?
Deer.
No. Human? They eat
Oh.
human?
Yeah, you attack them and they will eat you. Yeah.
Right.
Like with Havana, like coming from the north, this is just a fact of life.
Yeah.
Like he has like gone out, found like dead people and gone, yeah, no, they were eaten. That's what happens.
Well, to be fair, we found humans who tried to eat us, so, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I hate those.
So,
Fast
Jazza,
track.
Yeah.
can you make a survival check
Oh, we're not in urban areas, dang it.
Yeah.
to attempt to track these dogs that you had a vague direction on?
Okay.
Okay.
Had to go out on your own.
1.
Your rolls
That knowledge is just in the back of my head. You journey. You start journeying.
Yeah.
You have that beautiful, like, art supplies under the shoulder.
Yeah.
The sun is shining. The breeze is in your hair.
That's it.
Optimism. You have a
100%.
direction. You can see the forest and the southern mountain. You're heading. I mean, you're pretty sure you're heading south.
Yeah. Southeast. I know where the sun's rising. I'm like,
Yep.
okay, I'm going southeast.
And you head off.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, you're getting some meat.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
How much meat were you buying? You can buy 2 large hares for 1 silver, apparently.
Something a
There
bit
was 4, I just
more- What else do you got? Something a bit more delicate?
There's an entire deer, but that's going to cost you, I'm going to say, for a full deer, like 4 silver.
I don't think we need a full
Maybe
deer. I
even
can't even
6.
carry a full deer.
I've
Right now,
looked
probably
to-
6 for
sort
a
of
full
looked to
deer.
Havada for, you know,
Yeah.
what a
Guidance.
good idea. Because like, we want to attract a few.
What do I like? What's going to be the best idea?
Well, any of it is
Any-
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, the hares will be fine.
Anything.
They're probably the
Hares-
cheapest.
Hares would be best because we have more of them.
You can get 2
Easier
chickens
to
as
carry.
well.
I mean, you're a
if you
big
want.
man, but still.
Oh yeah.
Can we get a
But-
chicken and a hare?
Yes.
Great. And the freshest ones they have, please.
Sure. Sure. They're up in the morning. They're all fresh. You get a chicken and a hare for 1 silver.
Cool, I'll pay that.
Investment in your
For 1.
50 silver per person payout. Although actually right now it's 66 silver per person.
We ain't getting here.
Exactly. And you didn't tell Havada about the paycheck.
Havana, Havana
We just said
does
money.
not care.
Are you ready to head out?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
do it.
so
Good.
given there is a man with you with an intense knowledge of the wilderness, is anyone helping track? And if so,
can I
how?
also check for the note? Can I just like keep an eye
Oh,
on?
Oh, yeah,
Can we
can-
check for the person?
You
who
get to
said
the
who would be
meeting
meeting
point,
us?
make an acuity check.
Wait a minute.
That was the. Yeah, just keep it.
Was that acuity?
That was acuity. What was it?
Acuity.
Acuity. No. So I
You got to re-roll.
got to re-roll it.
So
God damn it. But that's okay. So I got ahead of myself. I
Damn
bet you.
good roll.
All right, so
Acuity plus-
acuity plus reflexes to just spot something.
Oh, cool. So 5. Much worse.
Slightly worse.
That is a
Much,
critical
much worse.
failure. You do not.
No.
Okay.
He's not my problem.
Only the one person to make that check. That's fine if it isn't.
Well, you sort of
Right.
get to the point, and then Havada's like looking around, and you all kind of just cast your eyes left and right.
Oh, I guess he slept in this
And
morning.
because you got a critical failure with 5 dice, you actually lose a spirit. And also because that was a sweeping failure, make an acuity check for Leone and Arvin. You two quickly make one.
Yes.
okay.
It's all right. You'll restore it before you need it again.
2 successes.
Critical sweeping failure, but with 4 dice,
4.
and you got 2 successes.
Oh, 2, sorry.
So after looking around for a little while and finding absolutely nothing, Leone trips on a stick that is weirdly dug out in the middle of the
What the
path,
heck? Why would someone do this? Why
and it
what?
snaps, and that's it.
There's no note.
There's no note on it, and the wind
kids.
blows through your hair. That was a very specific. You're like, I stick a piece of parchment on a stick and put it in the ground,
Yeah.
and it 2 hours before the party gets there.
Well,
A knife in a fence might have done it, but then you would have had to give up a knife.
I don't know if this was the dumbest idea ever, but Lorenzo has like carefully like laid the hairs out about like 10 to 20 meters apart from each
Yeah. How
other.
far did you walk?
Towards
How many hours?
towards tree lines.
How many hours did you journey?
For now.
Like 45 minutes to
45
an hour.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, 45 minutes to an hour. You head out in a direction and you put hairs down and then
Yeah.
you set up an easel.
No, you wouldn't have taken the easel.
Okay,
He'd
so-
have a board. He'd be sitting down on the grass with it on
Ready
his lap.
with this just
and
2
like-
hairs.
Yeah.
and you're sitting there.
And
Survival
quickly-
check with aid assistance from these two to navigate. You're tracking the animals, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
Would I also possibly find... So that'd be survival and wisdom?
Yep.
So that's 7 dice. Can I grab one of these, please?
Yeah, sure.
Good luck.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 successes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
So, we were about to ask if you could also find something.
Like, it's also... I guess with that check, would I also see
What?
his tracks?
Are you specifically looking
No,
to
I'd be looking...
You're
Like,
looking
if they're not worried about Lorenzo,
So, what would logically make the most sense, unless you're like immediately looking for tracks of a human leading off a road, is that you know that the sighting was close to the southeast, about a day's travel away. So you take the party down the road for about 7 hours, walking to the southeast. Before you then, with 4 dice on the success, at this new destination, head to where the rumors were saying, the specific, grove, and there's a hill here and a tree here, and you find that location. And then you commence tracking another hour or two, and then you find the tracks of these animals moving through the area. And then towards like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., because you'd had a very early start, you are at the point where, like, just over the crest of the next hill, near the forest, you're hearing the sounds, a rough howl, and you know that you're close behind and you're about to imminently reach them. What's Lorenzo done for his day?
It's rough.
It is rough.
So
No, that's what we can hear. Ruff, ruff.
did say like just southeast. I didn't specify.
I reckon.
He said, "I'm gonna." So you did. You survival checked and rolled a 1.
Yeah.
And then you were just. I'm like, how far do you go? An hour. You just literally were like optimistically walked an hour south of the town and put 2 rapids down.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I love that.
I reckon after a couple of hours, he would have expected the others to be there to to have come across him or whatever.
Yeah.
So at that point, with no activity and having done enough warm-up sketches that the inspiration is sort of seeping away.
Are you up?
Oh my god, that's cocked. That was a 20.
No, it was a 14.
Good try. I respect it.
Gotta respect the hustle.
You do spot a fox that comes out of the hills with a big bushy red tail and starts to sort of head over to one of your hares so that you can draw
No!
okay.
This is not meant for you.
You chase the
I
fox
spent
away.
all my money on these things.
Okay.
I'm like, I chased it away and I grabbed the hares and I'm like,
There's a like buzzing of flies as you pick up the hare that's been on the ground for 3 hours, and
it wouldn't be that.
you said you waited. That's
We
what you just
travelled for
said.
7 hours, didn't you
You guys
say?
traveled for like 7.
He's traveled for an
Okay,
hour. and
so like
Yeah,
3
but-
hours, but yeah.
there'd be
They're
saying if
not,
you put a
like,
skinned rabbit. No, it's not rotten. It's just there's flies
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
put a
I shoot
skinned
them
rabbit on the
away.
ground. There's
Yeah.
going to be bugs on it.
All right. I can't metagame here. So
No, you walked an hour south off the road in towards the forest.
Are there any farmers nearby? Like it's an hour from a village.
You can see you're sort of to the east. Yeah, you can see boundaries of properties.
I'll walk up to a nearby property.
Okay, and you spot a farmer. It's sort of been about 2 hours.
I've excuse me, I don't mean to make a nuisance of myself, but I have heard rumors of a pack of strange dog-like creatures in the southeast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know someone who would?
We don't rumor about strange creatures here. That sounds dangerous. Do good work and farm.
I see.
What an NPC response.
This is something that you found someone with specialized knowledge to actually would pick up on this kind of stuff. Literally mythical creatures.
Lorenzo's just going to start walking southeast and attempt to track.
You don't know what direction you are going in because you got a 1 on your survival check. So you've assumed make another survival check to like get back onto
Could we ask
some
the
kind of
farmer?
course.
Surely the farmer knows.
But that's what the survival check is you like, I head
Well,
south.
3 hours later, I make another survival check and go 1 again.
Okay.
No.
Just bypass Lorenzo. Just,
I will.
Yeah.
Because Lorenzo, you were never catching up.
No, I know that.
Lorenzo, I will say 3 hours later, so it's been about 5 hours, you crest the top of a small hill, the south side of the river, and you see the beautiful white stone walls of Allegrano.
I just walked the wrong way.
I take that as a sign.
You successfully walked across the river. Oh, you're a little bit too far away, but you see in the very far distance, you basically walk south and then accidentally head like southwest a little bit, and you can see Allegrano like down the hill and across.
Lorenzo.
Sorry, buddy.
No, I know. Lorenzo by this time is really upset. He like feels like it seemed like a good idea and destiny was on his side, but you know, again, another kick in the gut for Lorenzo. But you know what? When he sees the beauty of his city and he feels the opportunities that maybe still be there for him, he instead paints and draws an homage to the majesty of Allegrano itself. And he spends the rest of the day, while there is sun to use, as the sun caresses to the other side of the horizon, putting everything he has into at least taking this rare opportunity, this rare view.
Make a deft of hand wisdom check.
Okay. I will say it will be primarily using like technical methods, but just with he wants to really walk the balance.
You're right.
To have enough artistry and beauty, but enough that isn't controversial, because he knows enough about what's controversial. So he tries to really walk that line.
Yeah.
All right. 4.
4 successes, and you make quite a nice landscape.
Some good chatters.
Silver, you absolute menace.
You make quite a nice picture. You know, it captures the feeling of Allegrano. You know, it's actually kind of technically competent drawing, and it's one that you would see in like regional town halls as sort of like, this is Allegrano from the southeast at mark 747 miles from here. Like, this is Allegrano. You know, that's the kind of drawing that they appreciate. Like, this is reality as presented from this position.
Yeah.
You do a good job of that, and discreetly with some flair.
And I'm also just going to say, side note, as the light's fading, I switch to some fresh pages and just imagine Doggercorns and just sort of like make my own versions and just let myself be creative with those.
Jazza role-playing himself.
So,
Who wants to see some dogs?
now Havada is not going to have much interest in
No, I feel like
hunting and catching, but you're guiding.
guiding, I imagine it being wandering over the as we sort of crest the hill. Like if we crest a hill and looking down onto them, he's literally just going to stop and sort of just like sit down. He goes,
What's your approach?
All right, so
Okay, first of all, I'm going to get you to make a stealth check.
okay.
Both of us, yeah.
Yep, both of you independently.
I only got 1 success. We're rolling like garbage tonight.
Yeah, you are.
2.
Oh boy.
I'm going to use a knack
Okay.
to make it 2.
2. I rolled like garbage. Yay! I got 1 success for their acuity check. So your knack actually meant that they are, in fact, currently, there's 2 of these. You round this hill and you look down and you can see there's 2 of them. They're currently like yipping at each other a little bit, like aggressively over what looks to be a small, like dead animal that they have either hunted or they've come across, and they're kind of like jostling for which one can eat
dead
it.
hair.
So there's a bit of
feast for you.
so they're distracted, and you managed to get to a vantage point where both they don't know you're there, so you've successfully somehow stealthily approached, but you can also see them. And for the first time, seeing these dogs, it is a strange majesty that comes upon you. In fact, I'm going to get you both to roll acuity, see how much you perceive.
Reflexes?
Yep.
I do love the idea that we now get the idea of the size of them.
3.
Okay, so Arvin, you are struck with a glimmer of majesty. As you look upon them, it's almost like the hairs upon the back of your neck stand up. There's something otherworldly about them. It's as simple as a dog with a horn. Like, that shouldn't be something, but as they move from left to right, you can almost see like a heat haze in the air following the horn, like a glimmer of like almost, it feels like magic. It feels like alchemy. There's that strength in the air and this vividness, the same sort of fume you see when you're doing various alchemical processes and changing elements from liquid into gas, and you get the heat haze and all these things that rudimentary science doesn't quite understand, but it feels like alchemy.
What are their movements like? Are they sort of like
More graceful.
Yeah, a bit more noble.
Bit more noble, but they're still fighting a little bit like dogs, but there's a bit more nobility and uprightness. The thing that strikes you both, however, is how big they are. If you were familiar with these animals, which you're not because there aren't any in Lucevera, they're about the size of a jaguar. They are not the size of like a house dog. These creatures are, more akin to a tiger or a jaguar. You estimate they would weigh hundreds of kilograms. And they are just muscle and like these horns and
Realizing that at this stage that Havana is referring very much like to him and his people, these are like house dogs.
Yeah, I think that
or hunting
coin
dogs.
just
Whereas to everyone else, he's like, these are
when
puppies.
he was like fair sized for him, it's like, oh.
Now,
like
a real question.
They are a stag
We
hound.
cut our medium net into 2 smaller nets.
Okay, I overestimate. They'd be about
appropriate.
100 kilos, not hundreds of kilos. I just googled how heavy a jaguar was. They're not that heavy.
Cool. Will our individual nets still be sufficient?
Yes, I wasn't being a metagame bastard. So when I said that
These are the
fine.
options you can pick from. You weren't like,
You made them thinking they'd be ample. Like you made and you're like, oh, easy.
More
But now
than
looking at them, you're like, that's why I have a neg 1 to hit with them, because it's actually just enough to catch them.
I understand why you said the human thing before. These are a lot bigger than I thought they would be.
Oh yeah, fair size.
And you hear like a hearty, like, roof, roof. There's
my
no like
goodness.
soft little.
Is it sort of like a deep, heavy, like bass punch when
Yeah,
you
it's literally, it is the one that makes that like little primal, like, God, this dog could actually kill me.
All right.
I feel like Havana will just like sort of just with a grin just lift his head and give like a low, just not a menacing, just like a low like rumbling growl, just as sort of like just a. I feel like he's sort of half being like sort of joining in the festivities, and also half just completely fucking with these two.
The weird big man to a rumbling ground. I'm going to let that happen without it affecting the dogs' stealth.
Because he's not. I feel like he's almost not even doing it loud enough. That
He's just like part of his nature. And in this, the dogs are getting slightly more aggressive with each other. And converse amongst yourself, make your plan. We will have to do the combat next week, but let's work out what's going on.
So
All right. My plan is that I think if you set up here somewhere with a clean vantage point, I'll get closer, slit one of the animals and put them in an area to lure them in. I plan to not die, and hopefully this will succeed. Havada, I do not expect you to partake, but we might need your muscles, and we would appreciate not dying again.
Oh yeah, I will step in if things get too bloody. Yeah,
I love that. Thank you.
how far away are they from us?
A good ways. Like you've crested them out and they're down in a valley. They're probably a couple of 100 meters away.
Cool. All right. So I'd like to ask Leone, where would a good location be to put like somewhere within striking range of your arbalist, and sort of negotiate the effective range.
You
that I
could
need
set it
to
up and be
lure
in
them
range
to.
here,
Do we
but
need-
probably not with the net bolt. It's too heavy. You could try and kill them from here with a proper bolt, but the net bolt, I'm going to say, is probably only got like maybe 50 meters
Maybe it's come
range
closer.
because it's just so heavy. It'll just like go and hit the ground.
All right, so we'll have to make a location both for the trap and also for the net.
And avoid
mounting.
detection.
Yes.
So, can I get, while you're having this plan and starting to do it, so you're going to set up a trap.
Yeah.
What's the trap?
These animals that I've gotten.
And what's the actual trap? Is it just a lure or is it
A
like...
lure.
Okay. Cool.
So, sorry, you're going to run, put the meat down, run back out,
Basically,
bring them
yes.
closer, I shoot, is the plan.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so I plan to basically slit one of the animals so they start bleeding, like actually sort of become enticing, throw them somewhere that's sort of like upwind from them so they get the scent, and then retreat back to wherever Leone is setting up.
there is one slight problem. If they come closer to me or you, but you'll be out of there, but I might not be, they'll know I'm going to shoot the thing. But I have an idea. You want to save it for next time? Can save it for next time.
We can save it for next time if you want to have your idea next time. However, I will say as a final thing, as you're discussing and you hear these dogs fighting over this meal, you both suddenly, like instinctively, your hands go up to like catch and protect your eyes from brightness as you briefly look down and there is like a bomb flash of light. And then you catch the afterburn, and the body on the ground of this animal is just cleanly sliced in two, and there is fire burning in the grass in between the two animals, and one of their horns is like golden and is now sparkling back down to non-golden.
All right. I feel like Amanda just goes like, oh yeah, they do that.
And we'll pick this up next week.
Oh my god!
I don't think the
Nice.
net's going to work.
I drew a pretty picture.
You're going to be glad you're not there now.
You guys are going to get back like half dead again, and I'll be like,
Gosh.
Half.
Okay.
well,
You'll get back half.
We get back half.
Yeah.
Half of each. You don't get to choose which.
I've
we assembled
the
them
other
wrong.
two expeditions on 1 health.
thank you to our patrons for
Yes,
supporting
thank you
what
to
we
our
do.
patrons.
Patrons is a big.
Oh my god, there's Tickle Duck. Thanks, Tickle Duck.
Oh,
Good
what a
lord.
We love your long-term support. If you want to support at the same tier as Tickle Duck, which is a big lofty level of support, you can help us create NPCs and they get artwork. And I'm happy to reveal that, you know, Tickle Duck's first patron NPC was in the last episode.
Who was it?
It was Lord Fausto Scavaro.
No
Yeah,
way!
the quest giver and the master
You're
of...
kidding?
Yeah, that was Tickle
That's
Duck's...
so cool!
Yeah, that was Tickle
Nice.
Duck's character.
Oh, I love that.
You're not
Well
supposed to reveal
done.
that till the
Awesome.
very end.
No, we don't do it anymore. We reveal it
100%
once it's
thought
relevant.
The bandit was an NPC.
The bandit was also a patron NPC. Yeah, that was a hero cameo NPC.
Awesome.
And I gave so many opportunities for you to become bestest friends and them to adventure with you. You said no. So we might
Your
encounter
first
them again.
response to him was literally to F off.
Might encounter them again. But yeah, no, I'm happy to reveal it when it's not, once it's not like
Yeah, yeah.
a problem. If
Sure,
it's
yeah,
all in
make sure.
question, I think it's cool. He gave a cool quest.
Yeah,
and
it's
he's
awesome.
going to be a character and we're going to go back in anytime you need. It's cool.
Yay! Thank you.
Support us on
patrons.
Patreon. It's how this stuff gets to be made. We love you and thank you. And I'll let Dragon say goodbye. We won't.
Bye.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Our friend Gerardo, who we will see from time
We
to
will
time
see.
in our
Yeah,
adventure.
yeah.
We will see you again, friend.
And Jazza. I'm just saying, Jazza's got a one shot that's set in LUCEVERA.
That's true.
So if there is a time where even I'm not here,
I can pick up the narration reins and the universe will continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.